The Writing Center has been a really rewarding experience for me because I grew up in the glass world and was around glass students all of my life and have since left and work in the museum field. And I know that one aspect of artistic practice that is underserved generally in arts communities is developing key writing skills for communicating ideas about your work, information about your work to a variety of audiences. So the Writing Center is designed to help artists develop those skills with one-on-one sessions where, facilitators can look at a piece of writing with you and meet you where you are at your level of writing skills and help develop it and help tailor either new writing or existing writing to certain audiences while maintaining the artist's own voice.
So a little bit about me, Lydia Boss, she, her. I'm based in Seattle, Washington. Currently, I work as a program co-director at a nonprofit organization called Artist Trust. It's a grant-making org. I primarily work with artists to support them in their grant applications or in writing that is important to an artist's career, whatever that may be. Sometimes it's biographies, sometimes it's artist statements, sometimes it's project proposals that go within an application, and anything sort of in between. I also have a background in glass. I've worked with glass for more than 15 years, and I've spent years navigating the community both as a professional artist and contractor, working and teaching at different organizations in Washington State. And then I found my way through Pilchuck Glass School actually to the position that I'm in now at Artist Trust. I have a real passion for working with individual artists. I have a real passion for education, and I see writing as ultimately a tool to get artists where they want to be in their work and in their career.
My name is Matisse Donefer-Hickie. I use they, them, and also she, her, though I prefer they, them pronouns. I am a historian trained in history of science and technology and also history of decorative arts, design, and material culture. And I found my way into a career as a museum professional. Currently work at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I worked there for 6 years. And as a result, I have developed quite a hefty number of skills in writing gallery text, museum text, sort of honing in on certain audiences and isolating the most important aspects of a piece of writing that said audience will gravitate towards. So any writing to do with gallery text, to do with important aspects of artwork, I sort of developed these skills, and I was looking to kind of share them outside of the environment of a museum. There are many, many professionals with these skills within a museum environment, and I think not as many who are working with artists to develop their own voice, to develop the artist's voice within the realm of exhibition gallery text. I'm very interested in preserving an artist's original voice while crafting a piece of writing that is accessible to their kind of chosen audience and for its given purpose.
The Writing Center is for everyone. It's for students, it's for professional artists, and anyone in between. And we want you to come sort of as yourself and know that it's a judgment-free zone to really work on talking about your work and writing about your work. And we'd be really excited to meet with you at whatever career stage or writing level you might be at.
Yeah, I think ultimately the answer to the question, what is the Writing Center, is it's for you. It's for the artists that want to sign up for a session to decide. So we encourage everyone to come to the sessions with questions. We will tailor the time to whatever it is that you feel most important to work on. Doesn't have to be finished. We prefer if some piece of writing is submitted beforehand so that we can get a better sense of the content that you're working on and your kind of first pass voice and where you are in terms of level of polish. By no means does the work have to be finished. We often do brainstorming exercises to simply develop ideas or to clarify artist statements or to clarify the content that you want to write. Some piece of writing is helpful, but by no means does it have to be finished.
I'm open to meeting with people who are interested in exploring different aspects of their artistic pursuits and career, whether that be through a piece of writing or otherwise. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to maybe listen to an artist speak about their work and then be able to sort of reflect that back to them while taking notes or just sort of generally through conversation. It's something that I do quite a bit day to day, and that I think could be really helpful for artists working in glass. I think that there are sort of limited resources and limited opportunities for that kind of feedback with someone else. And so I'd be really excited to meet with folks one-on-one to do either a writing session or kind of like you said, a listening session to help them to better understand their practice and maybe where they want to go with their work. Everything? Yeah, writing is hard. Writing's really hard. And I think that for me, the thing that is maybe the most challenging about writing is the distillation of an idea, right? Like, I know what I want to say, I know what I want to convey, but how do I put that into words that are sort of as clear as possible? Particularly in glass, maybe you're speaking to an audience who's learning about your work for the first time. Maybe they're not familiar with the nuances of the glass making process, whatever your process is that you're working with. Being able to sort of like whittle down what you want to say into some sort of like succinct and clear idea. I find that really challenging, but I also find it really gratifying when I'm able to do that in my own writing and, in support of someone else.
I think whittling down is my favorite part of writing, and it's starting on a blank page that I find most challenging. The kind of writing I do day to day, I think, is different than writing from the perspective of an artist. I am usually assembling historical sources as evidence and organizing them in a way that forms an argument. But so I find the kind of beginning stages, the staring at a blank page, the thinking to be the most difficult part. And then I think the kind of so maybe that's not even writing, it's just beginning. That's just getting the first steps out there because I find it much easier once I have something on the page to reorganize and rearrange. And that, I think, is the real work of writing, which is rewriting and rewriting and rewriting. And editing, and as Lydia said, distilling an idea through this iterative process into something clear for your chosen audience. Yeah, I think the real work of writing is my favorite part, and the calm before the storm beginning is what I find most challenging and terrifying to get through. Maybe I need a listening session. To sign up for a session, please visit geeks.glass, and we really hope to see you there.